Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today we are reviewing a gorgeous smartwatch here from Huawei. This is the Huawei Watch GT4. It is not running Google Wear OS, but it does have its own operating system, which is both an advantage and disadvantage. Let's take a closer look. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the Huawei GT Watch 4. And I have to say, this probably is my most favorite designed watch that I've tested in recent years. I've tested all kinds of watches at the moment. This one, the Huawei, in actual fact, for me, is the best looking one that I have tested out, just because if you look a closer look at this non-rotating bezel here, it is just such a nicely refined and well made with this mixture of brushed and smooth aluminium. It really, really is absolutely gorgeous. I have to say, I've been really impressed. I enjoy looking at it, even when obviously I'm not using it for its functionality, which in itself is actually very, very good as well. So just a brief look, we've got this rotating crown here, which is functional. It's also a push button, so it does actually do something. And then we have a button here as well. So just to show you how I've got them configured, I've got this one to rotate between my workouts quickly. And this is basically a quick workout access. If I had to push that again, it would activate the actual workout. So it would go straight into it like so. Obviously I can come back out of it, and those are configurable as well. This one takes me straight to the settings where I can move around all my apps, and you can zoom in and out and obviously go into each one of these settings as well. So really, really nice. This will bring you back, take you straight to the workout if you want, or you can just swipe back and come straight back to the main screen there. So I really, really like the design, and I like the layout of these buttons. It's also much more practical because when you're wearing it, you actually don't hit the button if your hands come back. You see, when you're having a workout, one of the big problems is hitting the buttons when you're actually doing workouts, such as doing a barbell work or press up. Then that's actually a serious issue when you constantly pause the workout. With this watch, they've thought about that and they've moved the buttons either side, and that never results in any accidental presses, which I absolutely love. Now, what else do I love about this watch? Well, it is very, very lightweight. So it's not the lightest watch in the world, so it doesn't feel cheap and plasticky, but it is light enough considering it is made of mostly metal, some plastics as well. But it's not so heavy that it's cumbersome and that it bothers you when you're wearing it, say for example at night, because I hate heavy watches. That basically my Galaxy Watch 4, I can't wear that at night because it just feels too big and heavy and very cumbersome on my wrist. This is about as big as I would want it to be on my wrist. It is, and I've got very narrow wrists, so this one does look quite large, but the screen and everything is really, really, really nice. Now, there are limitations with this watch in terms of what it can do because it's not running fully fledged Wear OS, but there are massive advantages to that as well, which we'll get into. What it does have as a massive strength, battery life. Oh my goodness, this is an awesome battery life device. This comes with, in the box, a puck magnetized charging brick that comes with this, and it will charge it up in 45 minutes from 0 to 100. It is very, very quick. It's not wireless charging, but really I just don't care because the speed that this charges it up is seriously not problematic. If you were to get in the shower and get out, you'd probably have at least 50 to 60% charge if you had a quick shower, and if you took your time, it would be fully charged, and this bad boy will be working for 14 days. Now, I've got 10 days solidly out of this, and I've had everything switched on. I've had workouts every single day, and I've been utilizing all of the testing and all of the sensors on the back for heart rate and blood pressure and for SpO2 as well. I've had that all functioning in the background, and I've got a good solid 10 days out of this, and I've been very, very pleased with it. So I'm absolutely loving the battery life, despite the fact that it doesn't have Wear OS. That actually appears to be a strength. And I'll talk about what the disadvantages are. What you can do is you can take phone calls on this device. So if I were to make a phone call on here, I can speak through the watch and the sound quality has been so good that people have definitely not struggled with either me hearing them or being able to be heard on the other side as well. So I've been really impressed by the call quality of that as well. Now, the fact that this has a rotating and functional crown is very, very cool. Already mentioned what that's like, and it is definitely a strength of this watch. So I would say all in all, the pros for this watch are really up there. The only disadvantages as we go into the cons are that when you receive a text message, you cannot respond to it in any way you want. So if you get a text message, it will come through as a notification here, and then you have some preset responses, but you cannot write or voice your own responses, which is the biggest weakness of this device. So that really is it. Now, if that doesn't bother you, this is going to be an amazing device because of the battery life, the screen quality, and all of that. But this device is absolutely brilliant in that regard, but you cannot respond as you want to the text messages of any kind. So that is a little bit annoying. Now, one of the other side of it is that you may be familiar with how this looks. There's a certain other major company that has very similar looking layout for their software, which you can zoom in and out to and so on, which again looks quite good, but it is a little bit cumbersome, and there's quite a lot of apps here that I just never even touched. So let's have a look closer here. We've got stress levels and things like that. Flashlight, obviously, some of these are going to be useful for some people. You've got barometrics on there. You know what? This is definitely going to be familiar for some people and useful, and for others, not at all. You do have a breathing exercise app, which is quite clever. And you can indeed also use Spotify on here. It has a built-in controller, including a swipe to the right here where you've got your weather and you've got your controller for Spotify. Now, this is the voice activation system, which did not do anything for me. Now, it's responding to me, but it always says, sorry, I didn't understand that. Regardless of what I do, it always says that. So that basically doesn't work for me at all. Really, really weird and not very useful. Unfortunately as well, it has fantastic fitness tracking capabilities, but it's quite limited. They actually only have 25 different types of fitness tracking, but it doesn't have things like indoor gym. It didn't have anything like CrossFit. You can customize, but it's got rower, elliptical. It's even got triathlon, which is obviously really cool, but obviously that's going to be cycling, swimming, and running. But it doesn't have any of the things that I actually want it to have. So I've always had to use other types of workout and just hope for the best. But the recording is very good. It gives me very accurate heart readings, I feel. And the sleep tracking, I feel, is also very, very good because I feel that that is very, very accurate. Now, last night I had a disturbed night's sleep because I have a puppy and that dog woke me up. So you can see here in the yellow peaks where I was actually up before I really wanted to get up, and I didn't get to sleep that much either. So, you know, that's very, very useful because it does track that for me. Obviously, I'm aware that it happened, but it will also record it inside the app as well. So it does work very, very well in terms of sleep tracking, but I do wish they would add more workout programs to it so that I can be more specific about my types of exercises. Now, just on the software side, because this is using the Petal downloader system from Huawei and not the official Google store, then you will get barcodes for certain apps that you have to actually scan with your phone, and then you're going to need to install that app specifically from their website or from their store. So that is the downside, because of course there are limitations to this device because it is a Huawei device and they have obviously been locked out of the Google operating system. However, for the price of this watch, I would absolutely say it is great value for money. The only limitation is that you've got no response to text messages, which I do find very, very useful on some of my Wear OS devices, like when I've tested the Galaxy watches. But other than that, the voice response is very, very good for phone calls. The watch faces are really, really good. There's plenty of options available for you. And of course, this crown is actually functional. And as we've just discovered from the new OnePlus Watch 2, they have a crown here too, but it's non-functional, which seems very, very odd and a complete waste of time. Whereas on this watch, which is cheaper than that one, it's fully functional, and you've got lots and lots of choice when it comes to different watch faces. So you can really personalize it. There are many variations of this watch. I went for the green one here with the green accents, and I love it. If you take a closer look, you'll see here this green accent, and of course this green weave here as well is absolutely gorgeous. Obviously it's interchangeable with these adjustable straps here if you want to, but I have got no complaints with this. It's not the softest band available, but it is very grippy. It's got a rubber underside, so it's not going to come off easily at all. And of course, it's going to last better in wet or sweaty environments as well. So really practical. So there are both very much pros and cons with this watch, but in terms of beauty, this is a really good looking watch. It's excellent in battery life, way ahead of the game compared to the iOS or the Wear OS systems. So this one is really good for battery, and just as a looker, I mean, just take a look. If you agree or disagree, make sure you put your comments below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, and if you are looking to get one, there'll be a description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye bye for now.